Me.
Can we get the real Andy? I would prefer the real Andy.
Oh, let's get the real Max. I'll take off my mask when you take off your mask, brother.
Because who's your new favorite YouTuber, Ian, that wanted to be on the show with us?
The madman. The madman.
Mad Movie Man.
Let's bring on Max Movies because he scares the living shit out of me. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Mad Max says, I think you should apologize. Right? I'm sitting here in a goddamn torn down pool house.
I don't even know who
the
you
pool house
are.
is torn apart. Okay, it's torn apart because I'm remodeling on my $70 webcam. Okay, I'm no better than you.
Movie Madness Entertainment.
Welcome. Hi. It is currently 3:38 in the morning. I cannot sleep. Mostly because I'm still a little sick, a little under the weather. But I was going to do this stream tomorrow in the afternoon. I decided to do it now, get out of the way. I'm back. Sort of, yeah. I'm thinking I'm back. So, if you don't know, I've been sick for like the last week and a half. I started getting like really congested and like my throat was like on fire. I was like, oh God, what is this? What's going on? And then my congestion started blowing up. I was sneezing and coughing constantly. I could barely breathe. I could barely talk. And I was just miserable for about a whole full week. I was just miserable. I could not do anything. And I had so much plans. I was going to talk about She-Hulk. I was going to do this and that. I had streams planned. None of that panned out. I tried coming back a couple of days ago. I just couldn't do it. I've been sleeping a lot, resting, taking time to myself, trying to get caught up on schoolwork to start a new semester of college. And there's just been so much going on, and it's been a complete disaster. But, you know, this is like the 9th, 10th day I've been sick. I'm finally starting to feel better. I can actually talk now. I can actually do some stuff now. I'm not sure what I had. I don't think it was COVID. It's looking like it may have been either the flu or strep throat. Because my entire house got sick. Once I got sick, my mom got sick, then my dad got sick. My dad never got sick. So shockingly, he got sick. Then my brother got sick. Everybody got sick, okay? Everybody in the house got sick. And again, I want to apologize to all of you for my lack of perhaps transparency, the lack of me producing content. I try to be as regular as I can with this kind of thing, but obviously I failed to produce anything in the last couple weeks. So if you were disappointed in me as a content creator for not being able to talk about some of these things you may have wanted me to talk about, like the She-Hulk episode 3 or episode 2, because I don't think we talked about episode 2 either. So I do apologize, but I think in the end it was good. I took about a week and a half off just to rest and recoup. Again, trying to balance my workload between school and streaming, and then I get sick on top of that. It was just really bad timing. It's been really bad timing. Not the way I wanted to start off this fall college semester, but it is what it is. But now that's out of the way. Here's the good news. The good news is that I'm feeling better. So the first stream officially that I'm doing, part of me being back, will be this Monday on Labor Day. This Monday at Labor Day, I think around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it'll be our official D23 prediction show. That'll also be where I will review She-Hulk episode 3. We will be talking about that, and we will be talking about some of the fake outrage and controversy. So that should also be fun. That is Monday. That is Labor Day. I will no longer be streaming on Tuesdays because that is my school day. So Mondays and Tuesdays would be a little harder. I'm thinking about moving Marvel Mania to every Wednesday. I'm thinking about every Wednesday we'll be doing Marvel Mania, but that is not set in stone. again, that's that. Well, we actually no, sorry. We may move Marvel Mania to Thursday because typically I would do it on Wednesday, but because She-Hulk is airing on Thursdays now, Marvel Mania may be every Thursday. So I'll only probably stream once a week now. Excuse me. Again, I'm still a little congested. You could probably hear it in my voice. So if you hear it from me, that's why. So if I have to mute myself occasionally, it's because I don't want to cough in your ear. But my coughing has kind of subsided. The Lutins and the medication I've been on, I've been taking a lot of ibuprofen, Sudafed, NyQuil, all that good stuff. It's been helping out a lot. I will try to watch Clash of the Champions tomorrow. To be honest, the house is a complete disaster. Laundry hasn't been done in a week and a half. I've been trying to do small loads here and there, and I'm sick. It's, I've been trying to do just so much, and I don't know. I've been playing games laying in my bed, so sorry. So again, I've just been all over the place. So I will try to watch Clash at the Castle tomorrow. I'm for sure going to watch AEW All Out. I watch every AEW pay-per-view live when it happens. I'm going to definitely try and watch All Out. I am excited for Clash at the Castle, though. I think that should be a really good pay-per-view. I am quite excited for that one. So I will try to watch that tomorrow. Maybe while I'm doing some laundry or working on some stuff in the background, maybe. So again, Monday, I'm coming back with a D23 prediction show. Then the next stream I'm doing will be Thursday, September 8th. That is Disney Plus Day. We should be getting some big announcements there. We'll be streaming on that day to review She-Hulk Episode 4. Then we'll be discussing all the various announcements that happen there. I'm not sure what to expect from Disney Plus Day. I don't think it'll be too much. But there should hopefully be some updates on some Marvel stuff, so we'll have something to talk about that day for sure. We may sprinkle in some of the other Disney contests. Well, we may talk about, for example, Pinocchio. We may talk about the Star Wars announcements they may make that day. We'll have to wait and see. Then Friday, September 9th, that is the Disney and Marvel video game showcase presentation. We will be live reacting to that. That should be a pretty interesting day. We'll get updates on a few of the big Disney and Marvel games, probably some Star Wars games, maybe some we're getting Marvel Midnight Suns for sure. And of course, the big announcement, the big reveal is the game that Amy Hennig is working on with Marvel Games. It is rumored to be a AAA big budget Fantastic Four game, a Fantastic Four games. So I am looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Then, of course, Saturday at, I think, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is the big D23 Studio Showcase for Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios. We'll be live covering that. That is going to be a massive panel. Supposedly, it's going to be full of big announcements. If rumors suffice, we're getting at least some of the Fantastic Forecast announced there. We're getting some of the Phase 6 lineup announced, probably more details and stuff like Blade, Werewolf by Night, the Guardians Holiday Special, maybe a trailer for a movie. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Deadpool 3 announcements, perhaps. An X-Men announcement, maybe. I don't know. Something big stuff. Either way, big stuff's happening at D23 the whole weekend. So pretty much all of next week, I'm streaming. Again, we're streaming Monday, Labor Day, Thursday, Disney Plus Day, Friday, D23 video game presentation, Saturday, D23 live action studio showcase. That'll probably be also where we get our Little Mermaid trailer. We might react to that live. And, of course, all the huge Marvel announcements. So it is going to be a massive day, guys. So all of next week is going to be crazy. Excuse me. So I got to rest, obviously, so I can get ready for all these streams. Because I'm coming back, and I'm going to have to do a lot of streams all at once. Now, I have them all scheduled on this channel and Max's channel. So just hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when they go live. If something changes, let's say I get sick again, I don't feel well enough, I may try and reach out to other people to host them, but if they do go down, then please understand that it's because I'm sick and I just physically cannot do the show like I had hoped to. But I think I should be okay. I should be okay to do the streams next week. That's my hope. So let's see real quick. Say hello to some people before I get out of here. Again, just really quick streams to say I'm back. Again, not 100%, more like a 75, 70-ish percent. Hopefully within the next couple of days I can get that percentage back up to like a 90 because I need to get better. So, and again, more announcements in the future in regards to the channel. Like I said, it's kind of a tease. Mondays and Tuesdays will probably won't see me stream or be on anyone's channel, just because those are my school days. Rest of the week, I think I can make work. I think Wednesdays and Thursdays might be the best days for new episodes of Marvel Mania, and after that, everything else is up in the air. But let's say hello to a few people. Darkness of the Wind, hello, Film Watcher here. I know, man. I know it's not really my fault, but again, I don't like disappointing people, so that's kind of my thing. What's up, Caden? Yeah, I'm doing drugs. Probably, listen, it's like 50-50 for me. I'm leaning towards Roman. I think they want to keep Roman as champion until either The Rock or Cody Rhodes fights him at WrestleMania. So I could see Roman retaining just to go into the WrestleMania season. Although, I don't know. Like I said, it could go either way. And you got Austin Theory in the mix, too, with the Money in the Bank contracts. I don't know. To see plus stuff for D23. Maybe. We'll see. Sideways is here. Hello. Maybe John Krasinski. There was that casting leak, that casting call, that casting cast list, whatever it is, on Twitter. That I tried talking about earlier tonight at Max's show, and that was funny. The whole stream. But we'll probably talk about that on Monday. I think I didn't get to talk about Matt Shackman directing Fantastic Four either. That should also be announced. T23. I think that if I'm looking at that list personally, I really hope it's Jodie Comer who gets cast as Sue Storm and not Daisy Edgar Jones. I don't know who Daisy Edgar Jones is. I just think I'm just very much in love with the idea of Jodie Comer as Susan Storm. I think that'd be better casting personally, but I trust in their process. We'll see. But if that list is true, and you got Henry Cavill in there, John Boyega, Giancarlo Esposito, Denzel frickin' Washington, if that list in any part is true, that'd be fantastic. It's a great lineup of talent. Toku Fun, hello. Also, okay. I think that Blue Marvel is going to be in the Marvels, but I think that movie's already done, so I don't think John Boyega would play Blue Marvel. I think he should be Blue Marvel. I think John Boyega as Blue Marvel would be great. Or Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington also be a great Blue Marvel if they want to go younger or older, of course. But I don't know. We'll see. Excuse me. Caden Reed here. 2024, 2 fall shows, 1 winter show. 2025, 1 winter show. February movie, 2 spring shows, a July movie. That's what I'm saying. They're probably going to reveal all of Phase 6 at D23. I think that we'll get specific details on a couple movies and shows for Phase 5. And then we'll probably get at least an announcement of the project, at least some of the projects for Phase 6. I don't know if they're going to reveal all of them. They could reveal some of them, like the first half of Phase 6, and should say the back end of Phase 6 for Comic-Con next year. I don't know. She would be. Daisy Edgar Jones would be a good Kitty Pryde, maybe. But the thing with that is that you have Skylar Schuler teasing that it could be Susan Storm. So I don't know. I think for sure we're getting our Fantastic Forecast at D23. So next week, I think we're at least getting somebody. Either the whole cast or at least half of the cast. Preferably, and I've said this before, I would prefer if they announced all 4 of the actors together as a group. It just makes the most sense. But I understand if they want to reserve that and just announce part of the cast first. So that's a rumor. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't think they're doing MC Norman Osborn, man. I think that we're done with Norman. in the MCU. I think that Willem Dafoe is our one opportunity to get Norman Osborn. I could be wrong, though. I'd love to be wrong. I just don't see them doing Norman Osborn. We shall see. We shall see. Excuse me. I'm looking at the Marvel Studios spoiler subreddit real quick to see if there's anything else I missed that I wanted to talk about, at least real quick, for Monday. Like I said, full show on Monday, of course. So the list of actors, we got John Boyega, Henry Cavill, Jodie Comer, Daisy Edgar Jones, John Krasinski, Giancarlo Esposito, Denzel Washington. Again, I'd like that list. It's a great list. I mean, I just don't know who everyone will be playing. Would they announce Magneto and Xavier at D23? I don't know. I don't know. But anything's possible. I mean, the guy reporting it's like a horse racing person. So I don't even know how reliable it is, honestly. I don't know. Cosmic Wonder. I do not. I've heard of that channel, but I do not watch that channel. No. I probably should, but I don't. I don't watch it. I don't know. I don't know. He's apparently does before and spread false rumors. That's what I'm saying. Like that guy could be spewing a load of crap. That's why I'm taking that with like a huge grain of salt because I just don't know. I don't know because there's part of that casting list that makes sense because it's a bunch of names you've heard before, but there's also a bunch of names that are on there that don't make any sense either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe. Well, here's the thing: is that rumor even any true? Right? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks still. I guess is my point. Like it's just things that are going on. Like I just don't know. I don't know what's accurate and what's not at this point. So that's just kind of where things are at. I'm looking to see if there's anything else real quick. Guardians Holiday Special. There's been some promo art. Might take a look at that. Looks adorable. They're selling Christmas themed stuff because of course they are. So that should be that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like they threw a bunch of popular names to the wall to see so that the obvious ones are correct. Say it's a win. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose real quick. Some of the names on there make sense, like Giancarlo Esposito, Daisy Edgar Jones, Jodie Comer, John Krasinski. All those names make sense. But the Denzel, the Boyegas, the Henry Cavills, even though I think Henry Cavill could be Hyperion, some of those just don't make any sense to me. I think Marvel would love the drama, One Life. I think they would love the publicity and the attention it would get them, honestly. I think I'm telling you, if Henry Cavill is announced at D23, it's going to be one of the biggest announcements of that entire press conference, that entire event. It'd be big. Listen, Glenn Powell. I want Glenn Powell in the MCU no matter who he plays. I think he can play a lot of people. You know, Glenn Powell could actually be either a Cyclops. I don't know why, but part of me sees Glenn Powell as Gambit for some reason. I can see Gambit. But I think he'd be a better Cyclops, personally. I think he'd be a better Cyclops. Yeah, Toku Fun. I don't know what's going on with Werewolf by Night. Supposedly, this thing's releasing next month for Halloween. So the fact that it's like they haven't talked about it whatsoever, and it might get like self-drop next month, I'm kind of shocked by that. Because we know they filmed it. We know it exists. I mean, we know Michael Giacchino directed it. It's been done for a while. So why they're hiding Werewolf by Night and they're not talking about it, I don't know. It has to be a D23. It 100% will be a D23. My only question is why have they waited so long to even acknowledge its existence? I don't know. That's just odd to me. Moon Knight Season 2, that is a strong possibility, especially with Disney Plus Day. We'll see. Yeah, I can see Werewolf by Night being revealed either at Disney Plus Day or D23. Absolutely. Doubt Denzel joined such a big franchise like Marvel. Took so long to convince him to do his first sequel when he collected two. Also doubt Boyega has a good relationship with Disney secretly. That is true. Boyega, I don't think would join Marvel, at least not right now. Denzel, though, I think would if you told him it was just a one and done. I don't think Denzel would be in more than one movie. I could be wrong, though, but I just don't think he would. That's why I think if Denzel's in a movie, it'd be in a supporting role, and it would be a one and done. Like kind of like a Forrest Whitaker or like a God, who else? Who else have they got? And it's been like a one and done. I mean, technically, Kurt Russell's a one and done. Although he might be in Guardians 3. But you know what I'm saying? Like a one and done. You get a big name actor. Ray Winstone, I think, from Black Widow. That kind of guy. You get like a big name actor to come in, play a villain or play a supporting role. They're in a one and done kind of thing. Lawrence Fishburne, yeah. Although he could come back. I still think Lawrence Fishburne could come back. I know so far he hasn't yet, but yeah, and we probably will get a trailer at D23. Probably. They probably will drop a trailer for that, and then that will be that. Screw it. I'll drop a link. I don't care. I'll drop a link. I don't care. I'll go live for like a little bit longer because, like I said, I can't sleep, so I'll go live for a little bit. Marvel gets X-Men in the MCU. They probably won't touch the Dark Phoenix storyline for a while. If they do, they would do the best job easily. I just don't think they would touch that for a while. I'm thinking mutants get introduced either during Secret Wars or like right after as a consequence of Secret Wars. Could be wrong though. We'll see. Gordon Ramsay. What is that question? I love Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay's awesome. Yeah, Denzel doing voice work, I could see. I could see Denzel doing. I know some people said Denzel should be Galactus, and I was like, I could dig that. I could dig Denzel's Galactus. That could actually work. Would he want to do it though? I don't know. Sorry, just looking at a couple things. Echo. I think that the people at the convention. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if they're going to do it. To answer your question, One Life, if they do it like Disney Plus Day 2020 or 2021, I think it was 2021. If they do it like that and show like a sizzle reel trailer, yes, I think we will see some footage. If they drop that on Disney Plus Day, it's like here's our Disney Plus Day trailer, then yeah, I think we'll see footage. If they don't do something like that, this Disney Plus Day, then I think that the only people who will get to see footage are those in attendance at the live action panel on Saturday. I could be wrong, but that's what I think is probably going to happen. John Krasinski or Penn Badgley. I think Jimmy Dornan is out because he didn't say anything critical about Marvel. Hey, listen, man, that's how they sneak up on you, though. I think it's one of those three names, though. I think it's either going to be John Krasinski, Penn Badgley, or Jamie Dornan. One of those three. They could. I think they could bring MC Norman. Yeah, I think Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. come back for Secret Wars, too. Absolutely. Echo will probably be like the Miss Marvel. Probably. Like I said, I think if they do like a Disney Plus Day trailer like they did back in 2021, you'll see footage for all those shows. Clip House, Cyclops. Hey, maybe a good casting choice. If any major character dies in Phase 6, who do you think it would be? That's a great question. Maybe Doctor Strange. I could see it being Doctor Strange. Yeah, I don't know how much longer Benedict Cumberbatch wants to keep doing this stuff. Although he could play that character forever, as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think there's really been a character set up this far that I think like really has the potential to die. You know, because I don't know if Secret Wars is really going to be about like big character deaths. You know, we'll see though. We'll see. Thor, yeah. But would they kill off Thor though? I don't know. I guess it's like the last big original character like they could do something with. Like Thor dies and goes to Valhalla. I don't know. Yeah, Loki season 2 9 are probably the official announcements and casting thoughts. Yeah. Orioles. Yeah. Freshman year. They say it's connected. Is it really though? I don't know. Yeah, we'll see if that Spider-Man deal lasts that long though. It is, but I couldn't sleep, so here I am. Plus, I'm just getting off of being sick, so I figured I had to do some kind of content for a little bit, so here I am. Hawkeye, yeah, Hawkeye could die. I'm okay with Hawkeye dying. I like Jeremy Renner and I like Clint Barton, but I'm not gonna like be heartbroken if he dies. Ant-Man, though, I don't think Ant-Man's the kind of character you kill off, to be honest. Ant-Man's the kind of character you just let ride off into the sunset. Like he goes off to live in the quantum realm or something, you know? Probably, I think the X-Men would probably be like the next phase. Yeah. The Lost finale. I never watched Lost. Oh yeah, Hank Pym's definitely dying. Hank Pym's definitely dead. I won't be shocked if Hank Pym dies in Quantum Mania. Hank Pym's definitely dead. For sure. I will try to be William. I can't make promises because it depends on how I'm feeling. I think I should be well enough to talk about it. Because Saturday is what Clash of the Castle. That'll be. I just have to find time to watch it though. I don't even know if I'm gonna be awake in time to watch it because I've been sick. I've just been sleeping in. I will try to watch Clash of the Castle and talk about it. I will try to be there. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Thunderbolts. Yeah, Thunderbolts. I think that could probably get the official team reveal at D23. That's a possibility for sure. All I remember about Lost, Rostov, just to get back to that, all I remember about Lost is that basically what they were all ghosts or something. Like the island was a form of purgatory, and they were all actually dead and died in the plane crash. That sounded pretty lame. Yeah, all out on Sunday. That I'm looking forward to. I don't know. I would love to talk about this. I feel like AEW is in a little bit of trouble. Not because of the Triple H thing. I think some of their backstage politics and some of their handling of certain talent has been disastrous. So, I mean, no, if you really think about it, Secret Wars is 3 years away. 3 years. I mean, 3 years is going to go by quick. So, you know. Probably Doctor Doom. Although they could rip the rug out from under us and make Doom the real main villain of Secret Wars, not Kang. They could do Kang and Doctor Doom combined if they wanted to. If they wanted to, they could do that. But I think they're going to stick solely to Kang with Doctor Doom being like a supporting villain, and then phase 7 and beyond will be Doom focused. I could be wrong though. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, listen, man. I've been saying that Bryan Cranston could be anybody. He could be Lex. He should have been Lex Luthor back in the day. He should have been Lex Luthor. I still maintain that. If he was Lex Luthor, that would have been so godly. It would have been freaking awesome if he was Lex Luthor. But I would still for him to be Norman. I think Avengers versus X-Men is definitely a possibility. I think Avengers versus X-Men is most likely your next big team-up movie post-Secret Wars. I'd be shocked if they didn't do an Avengers versus X-Men movie. Like the next Avengers movie would be the Avengers versus the X-Men. Like I don't know what they would call it, obviously, but Oh, Matt's here. Wow, I'm surprised you're here.
Yeah, I can't sleep. I got to be up in a few hours, and I'm just trying to wind down a little bit.
Oh, that's cool. I got you. I got you. So apparently, John Williams has revealed a new theme for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I just saw the post. So Helena's theme. Ooh, who is Helena?
Probably Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character.
Most likely, yeah.
That should be getting revealed at D23, shouldn't it? Indiana Jones.
I
That's part
mean,
of the Lucasfilm presentation.
yeah, I think what we're gonna get is we're gonna get
The title.
we're gonna get the title. We might get a teaser because the movie is shot.
Would they show it this early though? Because it's only September. The movie doesn't come out till like June of next year.
Yeah, they would show a teaser. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the first trailer doesn't drop until February. But I mean, remember, like, remember Venom? Like, the movie came out in October and they released the trailer for it in January of that year.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. I mean,
they
Disney
sometimes do
marketing's
that.
different though. They market stuff differently than other companies. I don't know what they would do.
I mean, I'm sure. Like, the thing is, they're not going to want to give away too much, and they're going to want to hype people up the best that they can.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, covering this week is going to be a nightmare. There's so much going on because you have Disney Plus Day. It's going to be. I got to watch Pinocchio and review that.
Yeah, I'll watch it with my kids. So it's that's something I plan on doing because I want to see it.
Then there's
then,
there's the Obi-Wan documentary. There's She-Hulk episode 4. There's Love and Thunder, Love of Thunder making of documentary. Then there's I don't know if they're doing it this year. Remember Disney Plus Day 2021 when they dropped the sizzle reel trailers where it's like, here's Star Wars Days content, here's Marvel's content. I don't know if they're going to do that, but if they do, we might get our first look at like Echo and Loki season 2 and all that. So,
I mean, I hope so. I think we're going to get looks at I think we are going to get looks at that.
Werewolf by Night, finally. They've been holding on to that for so long.
Yeah, they shot it too. Giacchino's already filmed it, and we've heard nothing on it.
It's been done. It's supposed to come out next month, but they haven't even acknowledged it exists.
All right, I don't think it's going to hit next month. If you want my honest opinion,
really? I think they're going to stealth drop it. I think they're going to say, "Hey,
well,
this thing we just worked on, it's a secret Halloween special, comes out next month for Halloween. Here you go."
You know what? Maybe you're right on that one but it's entirely possible that they don't want to do anything right now, only because Hocus Pocus 2 is.
See, I thought the same thing though, but Hocus Pocus is dropping a month earlier in September.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like they could announce it for the end of the month, which they should. But I don't think they want to take a lot away from whatever Hocus Pocus 2. I don't even know if there's hype for Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, trust me, there is. I mean, listen, it may not seem like it, but when that drops on Disney Plus, it's going to beat Encanto for #1 watched movie on the service. I guarantee it. I'm willing to put money on it. It's going to be the most watched movie on that entire service.
For now.
I think for all time. I mean, don't underestimate that movie. I think it's going to do banger numbers.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
William's very excited for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I haven't watched the trailer yet. I haven't
watched
the
it
trailer.
either. I'll probably watch it. Whenever you stream again.
I'm probably not until Sunday night. And that's just because. So it's like my girlfriend's texting me right now. Like she's still out of town, right? They got back into town today, but she's in Seattle right now, at a hotel with her sister. And then she's texting me to come pick her up right now. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get the girls up at 2:00 in the morning and put them in clothing and drive them to Seattle right now. But I might end up doing it.
It's literally about nothing. That's the whole point. I literally only came on here for a little bit. It's all just become whatever because I can't sleep.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But I hear it's what is it?
Well, I've been sick for the past week, and with the coughing fits and all that, it makes it difficult to sleep. So that's part of it too. And just general, I have really bad insomnia sometimes. So.
Dude, for the last 8 days, I've had my kids. Like, I have not been able to get practically anything done. I was very thankful that my dad could watch them while I went to go see Lord of the Rings.
Which I have still not watched yet. I haven't watched either episode.
You're missing out, dude.
I just don't feel like it, man. I just like, I don't know. Just like in that, I've been just like catching up on Game of Thrones and just playing other, like watching other stuff and video game stuff. Just like, nothing about the show at this point, especially like the whole conversation around it, compels me to like want to dive in right away. You know what I mean? And maybe that's just part of like how social media ruins shit sometimes. I'm just like, I'm not eager to jump in, you know, like I'll wait until like I know, like, okay, like it's cool just to catch up on it, you know?
Yeah, no, I get you. It's only 8 episodes too, so like there's going to be a fair amount. Like, you
So
know,
I'm
you
saying
got
like
time.
I'm not in a rush to get to watch it, you know?
Well, I feel like
And I
everything
haven't
now is a
heard like
fight.
such amazing things yet, or I'm like, oh, I need to watch this right away, you know?
Oh, I mean, what I would suggest is, so it's like you need to carve out like the 2 hours, you know? So you watch episode 1 and then you immediately watch episode 2, because episode 1 is like all exposition.
That's what I heard. A lot of people are like saying that episode 1's like really dry, like
It's
like
I don't well, I
verge
wouldn't
of
say
being very
dry.
boring.
No, I wasn't bored with it necessarily. I think because like you're still trying to figure out what's going on. I do want to go back and rewatch it after having seen it, because so I think part of the issue for me, at least, and I said this in my non-spoiler review of it, was that watching a show like that in a movie theater is really cool, but it tricks your brain into thinking it's a movie.
Yeah, so you think it's gonna be paced like a movie?
Oh, it's definitely not paced like a movie, and that ends up being one of the bigger aspects of it, where you're just like, okay, like how you know, like like visually, it's really good. I think episode 2 is way better than episode 1. I think because that like picks things up quite a bit. The pacing is way better. We have now introduced ourselves to the main core cast of characters. We now generally know what they're like, not what they're up to, but like we generally know the layout of their part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool. And like it you know, works out pretty well. And then I really enjoyed episode 2. Like they even kind of nailed some horror elements of it.
Okay.
And so it's like there's a kind of a kind of, I don't want to say like a scary moment, but it's you know, it's the way they shot it.
It has that like those moments where it can be kind of scary-ish.
Well, yeah, because it's like J.A. Boyena did, I think, The Witch before doing Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and so you know, a horror movie, and there's even horror elements in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, you know, and so like he kind of brought some of that to this, where the stuff with the orc is like really cool. And I really like that, and everything.
Have you caught up on She-Hulk, by the way?
Yes, I watched episode 3 tonight, and
yeah. Well, just real quick, your boy Marsh, I'm bored with She-Hulk right now. It's not just the bad writing; it's haven't cared for it, but that's just me. No, that's perfectly fine. It's not gonna be for the thing with She-Hulk that people have to realize too is that it's written like a comedy, so it's just like if the jokes don't land, it's like you're not gonna get into the show. It's just kind of like the way it is. Like if you're not
I
into
don't
comedy,
feel this
you're not gonna
episode
like it.
was the best written. To be fair, I thought it was a little too slapstick, but like the jokes didn't like.
Well, the
it
Wong
wasn't
stuff especially was great. All that.
the Wong stuff was awesome, you know, and I liked it when she was like, "Oh, I know you're all." She just like looks at the camera like, "I know you're all looking forward to Wong, but this isn't
like,
one of those like cameo of the
we know
week
you've been
thing."
waiting for Wong. I know it's my show, but we all know you wanted Wong. You know, so it's just like, here you go, here's Wong. Yeah, and then of course you have all the. I'll talk about it more on Monday. All the freaking fake outrage nonsense. My God, like I had a feeling that the cameo was going to make the episode go viral, but I wasn't prepared for like this conversation to go viral. If that makes sense, it both in a good way and a bad way. Like the show has gotten like a massive social media attention all 3 weeks it's been on, but I don't know if it's like the good kind of attention. I think it's more like a mix of like people like the show and are talking about it because they like it, but also everyone's like defending it from like the most stupid fucking criticism possible too. You know?
Yeah, that generally tends to happen. Sorry, my girlfriend's like, "Can you come get me in 3 hours?" I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, am I not sleeping tonight? Son of a bitch." I guess I'm not sleeping tonight.
Yeah.
She's like, you can sleep all day tomorrow, and I'm all like, yeah, think.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. That's okay. I will. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just message her back real quick.
William says, I need a WAP video with She-Hulk and Cardi B. Okay.
Well, if you wanna, yeah. I mean, well, there's been some memes for that have popped up, by the way.
Oh, I'm
So
sure.
there's been someone like photoshopped the image, like the poster of Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, but having it be She-Hulk. And what's so funny too is did you see that video going around of like it's when she walks into the office and they're like, oh my god, all that money for this animation and it's terrible.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. But I heard it's because of the person's like the way their TV worked or
Yeah,
something.
the TV was cranked to 120 hertz, right? This is the problem with
So it
fucking
made
normies.
it look like way worse because it's like super fast motion.
Yeah, so it's meant for live sports, right? And this is the problem with a lot of like boomers or whatever, is like they get the TV, they go to the store and they're
But
like
they
I
don't
want a
set their
TV.
TV right.
Yeah, and the people go, okay, you want to put it on like 120 hertz for sports because it's like ultra realistic. It's very like, a lot of refresh rate and everything else. But then people don't turn it off. Do you remember? And I don't know, you're probably too young for this, but like back when Circuit City was a thing.
I remember Circuit City. There used to be some around me when I was little. I never went there though.
So the thing with that is with Circuit City, they would always have their TV displays. And for some reason, all of their TV displays, at least in San Diego, were always cranked up to 120 hertz. So you would go in there and they'd be demoing movies. Like I remember when they were demoing Transformers on Blu-ray, and you would see Bumblebee and he would just look like irrigated plastic or some crap like that. It was so not irrigated. It's the wrong. I'm so tired, but it's like it just looked like plastic. It just looked fake. And then the thing is, this is what people actually thought these movies looked like because this is what they saw on TV.
Yeah, they didn't know any better.
Yeah, and yeah, because people don't know. And so that's one of those things. And then I remember going to my cousin's house and they have this huge, massive TV and they're big sports fanatics and stuff. And we're watching something and I'm like, why is your guys' refresh rate cranked up so high? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm all, this is set for sports. It should be on like regular because it looks like shit. And they're like, my cousin's very like, if you criticize anything, she'll just come back and like defend it. It doesn't matter what it is. And she's like, it looks fine. It looks great. It looks amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay. Never mind. I'm like, never mind. I just graduated
The TV
fucking
I have,
film
it's
school.
an LG TV. I'm not sure. It's a brand new TV. I got it because my dad's doctor he worked with was moving to Arizona, and he gave it to him as a gift, so I got it. But it's like, what I love about it though is that when I switch between HDMI ports, the picture and the frame rate will adapt. So if I'm switching to a game, it'll upscale to 120 if the console allows it, of course. No, my PS5 does. For cable, I think it's on 60. I think for my cable box, it's like the DirecTV stream box that I used to watch all my stuff on because it has the built-in apps like Disney Plus and all that. So I think that's set to 60. I think. I don't know.
I think. Well, yeah. Nowadays, like when I plug in my Xbox or my PlayStation to my Samsung that's in my bedroom, it will come back and it will be like, I'll turn it over to it and it will go game mode. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, game mode is cool. And I'll be able to work on that. And then I was just playing State of Decay 2 for a couple hours tonight. And, it looks fantastic on the TV. Okay. But then if I go and I turn over to like, Netflix or whatever, you can see that there is a shift. My personal favorite though is when I go to, because Samsung has free TV, right? Like it's like cable television. You have your different channels and everything. It's all free. And they have a channel that is 100% dedicated to unsolved mysteries. So it is just unsolved mysteries 24 hours a day. And it's all in 480 standard definition. you know,
Oh my God.
formatted for the old, CRT televisions from back in the day and
Mhm.
shit. And I'll tell you this though, RJ, I don't care. I watch all that shit. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I love it.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I was watching a Kadicker's video where he's talking about PS1 accessories, and he got to a part where like you saw like the laser guns. And remember those old Disney kids back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, Disney sold like these CR TVs that were branded Disney themed, like the one with like the Mickey Mouse ears on them or like the princess themed ones. And that just brought like a flood of memories. So I'm like looking on eBay and I'm like, CRT TVs that I can hook up like a GameCube or a PS1 to. Oh, only
Yeah.
$200. They're still around. They're all the princess ones though, which I think is funny. Like the princess one's like the one that like everyone has that they're selling. They don't sell any of the other ones. The other ones are more expensive. I thought that was funny.
I know a guy who recently got one that was Shrek themed.
Yeah, they had a Shrek themed one too, where like the ears are like the speakers. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah, back in the day, man, they made so many of those like kid-size CRTVs like all the time. They came out with them.
well, and it's so weird because like that was well beyond my childhood years. So my
Well,
childhood
it was
years,
weird because I'm trying to think like late 90s, early 2000s. Like I think because I think I got those CRTs like in the like 2000, 2003. I guess CRTVs were still around back then. We didn't have LED, right? Or LD, whatever it was back then.
back then was LCD.
Yeah, LCD. Like I think LCD was just so expensive. Everyone still had CRTVs, right?
Yeah, well, that was the thing. So back in 2000 and I forget which year. Was it 2006? 2000? It might have been. Yeah, I think it was 2006. Bush did this $600 stimulus, right? And he gave everyone $600, and that was a big deal back in the day. And at the time, my theory, and I still stand by this theory, is that it was meant to kind of like stimulate the economy, right? Everyone's going to put money in buying stuff. I'm like, people are going to buy fucking TVs with this shit. Because at the time, that was when we first started seeing like the big push for LCDs. Like they were like, I should say like more of an economical sense, right? They were like the mid-range TVs are dropping in price.
Yeah.
Right. Like you could finally get something for, a couple $100, and it would be like the 16:9, 720, because they had back then, you have to understand, RJ, it wasn't 720p 1080p. It was 720p 1080p. It wasn't even 1080p.
Wasn't it 1080i?
It was 1080i. Yeah. Interlaced frames. And when I was in film school, that was still a thing. And then all of a sudden, this is true. I shit you not. All of a sudden, that whole thing changed when Sony just went, we're going 1080p. And it was just like this, everyone all of a sudden 1080p. It was just Sony said it for the PlayStation 3, I think. Mm-hmm. And then like all of a sudden the entire format just went away. Like 1080i just literally went away overnight, it feels like. I'm probably misremembering it, but that's what I remember from back in the day. And but yeah, like I remember, back when that stimulus happened, I'm like, they were getting rid of all of the open air channels, because you used to be able to just get a TV with rabbit ears, right?
Yeah.
And then just tune in what any of the main ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, whatever. But then they got rid of all that, and that's why you can still get those networks, but you need the HD antenna to do it. So they got rid of like UHF channels because they sold them off to like the FAA, I think, or military or something, because those bands were like losing popularity. And again, it's late and I'm tired, so I'm misremembering some of the stuff, but I was like, okay, so they're pushing televisions. Obviously, people are going to need to upgrade their TVs. Now here comes this stimulus. I think it's going to buy a lot. And to be fair, like
everybody bought the freaking TVs.
I think a lot of people did. I was going to, but I had other bills to pay for at the time.
Yeah.
So I couldn't.
But if you did, like, if you weren't like if you had extra money left over to pay your bills, everybody got a TV, because it's like
people were buying TVs. Yeah. Upgrade? Yeah, it's still funny to me, like just how when I go to Costco, I'll see people like wheeling out like a 65-inch LG OLED, and I'm like, those are, because you can get like my TV that I have, I bought from Costco online last year. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, but you can just get them for super cheap now.
The TV that my dad has now, we've had that TV since, God, I want to say like 2015, 2016 maybe. Had about 7 or 8 years, I think, at this point. And it's a Vizio. It's a Vizio, right? It's a nice TV, but I'm looking compared to like my LG, because it's an OLED. It's a 4K OLED.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think it's time to upgrade this thing to get you a nicer TV, Dad, and get you an OLED, because OLED's where it's at now. OLED's fucking great. The picture's fantastic on it. Like, it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no. When I go to Costco, it's so funny because like before I had kids, I'd go to Costco and I'd look at those TVs they would have out front, right? They're high end ones. And I remember like when I had money, I'd look at my girlfriend. I'm all like, I could buy that TV right now. I could buy 2 of those TVs right now. Yeah. That was back during 2016, the good years.
Sam's Club and Costco is how I've gotten all of my TVs. All my nice TVs is where I got them every single time, except for the one I got as a gift from the doctor, like I said. So, and that's the funny thing. The TV I got, you could tell it's from a doctor's salary, okay? Because it's a couple years old. I think it's like a 2019 model, but it's a doctor's salary TV, okay? Like this is like I think it's like a 55-inch OLED, I think, around there.
Oh wow!
Inch, I think so. Yeah.
Max is apparently awake, asking what the stream is about. Dude, log in with your phone. Why are you awake at 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, come on, talk to us.
Yeah, because we all know you don't sleep with your wife.
You don't sleep either.
I haven't slept all week, dude.
No,
Dude, last night my kids, God, I love them. They went to bed, and then like my daughter wakes up while I'm streaming, and then I give her her tablet. She's fine with her tablet for like 30 minutes or so, and then she wakes up my 3-year-old because she wants company. So then guess who's awake until fucking after 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Today was
Max
a rough
is busy
day.
playing with his Wii.
You're okay. We'll give it 30 seconds and come on. Jesus.
Yeah, he's obsessed with like his Wii U or whatever it is.
What his Wii VU? What is that? That sounds like an STD.
Wii U, I think it is the Wii U.
Yeah,
he modded it.
Oh my my Wii U is sitting in like a drawer somewhere right now. I barely played it. I bought it. I barely played it. I was all like, oh okay. But the Switch I really like.
The Switch, man. Actually, I've been playing on the Switch. Is a game I got on Amazon. It's called Lego City Undercover. You know the Lego games, right?
I've heard good things about that, actually.
This Lego City Undercover game, I shit you not. If it wasn't for the new one, the Lego's Skywalker Saga, I think this might be the best Lego game. You play as a cop, okay? Matt, the second level of the game is dedicated to being a parody of the Shawshank Redemption. It is fucking hilarious because you're playing as a cop, right? So you have to like break into prison basically, and like because you're a cop, but like you're told, oh, you can't investigate this case or whatever, right? So the second level, you break into a prison, and you have to go talk to an informant called Blue, right?
Yeah.
The character named Blue, the guy does a Morgan Freeman impersonation, and he basically is Red from Shawshank Redemption. They make fun of the Italian singing voices. They have you breaking into the warden's office, all of that. It's hilarious. It's freaking awesome. The opening of the game, they make jokes about Columbo, Dirty Harry, so many cop references I don't even remember from like the 70s and 80s. It's freaking awesome. It's like in the first 2 levels. Also, they kind of ripped off the plot of Sleeping Dogs because you also go undercover to infiltrate like a Chinese gang. It's like vaguely kind of racist. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like Sleeping Dogs, sort of.
Now that's a game that they need to remake.
They should or do a sequel to. But the funny thing about the Lego game I'm playing, Lego City Undercover, there's also a level where they make fun of the Matrix, where you get trained by a guy named Barry Smith, and they do the exact same like Matrix fight sequence where they're in the Kung Fu dojo. Like there's like so many references, but it's like a completely original story and plot. But I thought it was funny.
The Lego games I think that's Traveler's Tales, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing about Lego City Undercover, it was made for the Wii U back in 2013, but nobody had a Wii U in 2013. So they remastered it and released it on, I think, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. So I got the Switch version because the Nintendo Switch version has all the Nintendo extras in it. You know, that the Wii U version had that nobody got to see. So,
yeah, no, I get that. Did I tell you that I picked up Stubs the Zombie on the Switch?
Stubs the what?
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. All right. So check this out, right? Stubs the Zombie is hands down, in my opinion, probably the best, if not one. It's not your traditional zombie game, right? So instead of being like a person who tries to survive from zombies, you are a zombie. So
okay, yeah, it's called Stubs the Zombie and Rebel Without a Pulse.
Yeah, it's a parody essentially of the old 1950s sci-fi movies where they build this like futuretopia sort of city, and I think it's like a chemical. I forget exactly what happens, but like Stubbs gets reanimated, and he's just trying to and he's in love with like the starlet who's there visiting for the city's opening. So the whole game is him trying to like track her down, which seems rather misogynistic after all these years. But he's trying to track.
I looked it up. It's made in 2005, so of course
yeah,
it's going to be like that.
Oh, it was very tongue in cheek. But the cool thing too is you could...
Hold on. Devin worked on that game?
Who?
The old Nerdcast, Devin. He's on Max's channel from time to time. He worked on Stubs the Zombie. That was the game he worked on.
Yeah, it's a great game, man. Yeah, that game was great. Like Toku fun. Rollerheads, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that they remastered it. What's funny is I actually bought it on Xbox 360. I bought it digital, and it didn't carry over to my Xbox Series S, which pissed me off. But I was at GameStop a few weeks ago, and I found a physical copy of it on the Switch for $15. So I picked it up. And here's a cool thing too: is one of the key devs on it, or maybe it was a creative director or whatever, had actually worked on Halo. And the game used the Halo engine.
Mm-hmm. So, what kind of game is Stubs Zombie? Is it like a brawler, like a beat 'em up? A shooter?
No, it's a third person. It's a third person game. It's a third person action adventure game, really, where it's like you have to just make your way through different scenarios. Like there's like the city, there's like the suburbs. There's.
Is it kind of like Destroy All Humans? Sort of?
No, I mean it's like tongue in cheek, like Destroy All Humans. But it's, instead of you like destroying things, it's like you're just trying to make your way through the level and everyone's trying to kill you. So what you do,
so you're trying to avoid getting killed, basically.
Or you turn them into zombies and they start going after everybody else. You can literally you can detach your hand and use it as like a remote camera, like it crawls on the walls and stuff. And you can then like latch onto someone's head and take them over. Like you don't get guns, but if you let's say take over a cop, you then have the ability to use the cop's pistol and kill other cops or anyone else who gets in your way. And then if you attack people as a zombie, they reanimate as a zombie. You have to eat their brains to replenish your health.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this game up. You said it's on the Switch?
It's on the Switch. Yeah, it's 15 physical. Check out some videos on YouTube about it. But
I'll look up the game on YouTube and see.
Yeah, I got it when it came out for the. I had a modded Xbox at the time. So when that came out, I was able to get my hands on it. And you want to hear a funny story about the original Xbox? Do you know that I wrote the first published review of Doom 3?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So here's what happened with that: is I was working for a website called GameDreams.com at the time. That's Game Dreams with a Z, mind you. And I had my modded Xbox. Well, Doom 3 leaked online early.
It did?
It did. Doom 3 leaked online early, I think by like a week or two. And so, because back then no one reported on piracy really with these games because it was so few and far between with console. Right. I mean, there was, I should say, like piracy was rampant in regards to, like on the Dreamcast, you didn't even need a mod chip on the Dreamcast. You could just download a game to a CD, burn it as a CDR, and play it in there. Like that's how I got Phantasy Star Online. Like I think 6 months before it released here in the States, it was out in Japan, and my friend got me a copy of it that he burned, that he had downloaded, and I was playing Phantasy Star by myself, mind you, for like a few months before it even came out.
That's cool.
But I mean, so back then no one really talked much about the piracy part of it, but so I got it, I played it, I reviewed it, put it up on the website, and then I ended up getting into a conversation at one point with the owner of teamxbox.com. And he was like, so wait, you wrote that review of Doom? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that was the first review that went out. Everyone was wondering, how did you get it early? It's like, you must know somebody. And I'm all like,
who'd you know in the game industry, Matt?
I just went, yeah.
It was just magic, man.
Yeah, that's right, eh? Yeah. But so that was pretty fucking funny back in the day.
Yeah.
I got Charlie there. You're 40 years old. I'm 40 years old. RJ's
we're
only.
talking about old games, man.
Yeah, although the Fez man here says the Doom with The Rock is a guilty pleasure. Goddamn right, dude.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh my god, no! I will say this though, like
Never
The
seen
Rock,
it. I've heard horrible things about it.
No, the second one is terrible. The Doom Extraction or Extinction, whatever it was, that was made for like sci-fi, that was bad. But no. The thing is, the first Doom, the Doom that came out in 2006, objectively not a great movie. Okay, I'll be fair. They have a whole first-person shooter mode moment in the movie, which is really cool.
It's I heard it was kind of cringe though, a little bit. Like it's like trying to.
It's very dated for the time. The damn thing is what 16 years ago. I mean, it's very dated for the time. Like, go back and watch
a good cast though. As freaking Carl Urban and The Rock, like how could you make a bad movie?
And Doug Jones is in it as an imp.
Oh,
so yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, and the thing is, but I will say that because The Rock is the bad guy in the movie.
Oh, he's the bad guy?
Sorry, spoiler. But it's been 16 years, like whatever.
I don't know.
But at the end of the movie, they're like, when they're gonna fight each other, like he just like bursts through a door and just goes, "Semper Fi, motherfucker." It's like one of the corniest lines, but I enjoyed Doom. We had it at the drive-in. I watched it a bunch of saw it with my friends when it came out. The thing is though, it's like, this is the thing with movies like from like 20 years ago is like, I know people,
there's like a charm to it, kind of.
There is a charm to those films because like, but the thing is though, like, did you see Matt Damon recently on the Hot Ones talking about?
Yes, I did. I thought what he said was really compelling. Actually, I thought what he said actually, like, I was expecting like that kind of answer on Hot Ones, but it was actually a very compelling. It was a good question and like a great answer. Honestly,
it was, and it's very true. It's the fact that the DVD market did very well, and that would be the ancillary market.
And once the ancillary market went away, then...
Well, yeah, and it's like, because streaming now pays all up front. If they're doing a streaming movie, they pay all up front. So there's no residuals, even though now, like, the Writers Guild just officially was able to successfully sue
But he's
Netflix.
right, though. Like, that DVD market changed a lot of stuff, and, like, the kind of movies that could makes. Like, that home video market was just so big back in the day. Like, Blockbuster and, like, the home video market in that regard, too.
Well, did you hear recently, like, people go like, Netflix only has 3,600 movies on it, but Blockbuster had like 10,000 back in the day. And I'm like, all right, well, let's be fair about what that 10,000 really was. That would be maybe at a Blockbuster Superstore. And that would be, you're keeping, like, you have to talk about multiple copies of the same movie. And they would sell. That's the thing with those stores is it's like retail, man. Like, you could wait a month and you could get a copy of like a newish movie for like $10 on Blu-ray. It would be used, but you'd still get it with the disc and the case and everything. Nowadays, I can go right now to fucking Redbox and like whatever just came out on home video like a month ago, I can get for $6. Get the disc of it.
I think like the value of movies, like not because like movies are bad. I think just like the way movies are valued now and like just the cultural sense is like they're valued less than they used to be. It's more like they're just discernible products that can just be tossed away.
Well, yeah, that you're right. You're absolutely right with that one. And that is ultimately the big problem there is like, I went to Walmart the other day with my kids and I always like to walk through the electronics department, especially to look at the movies. And what I've noticed ever since the pandemic.
Oh my God, dude, it's depressing.
Well, they've scaled back their DVD. They've scaled back their Blu-rays.
Have you gone to a Best Buy recently?
Oh my God,
it's so bad.
It's so bad,
dude. before the pandemic, Best Buy would have like 6 or 8, or sometimes even 12 rows of movies and Blu-rays of all shapes and sizes and vernaculars. Like literally everything was there at Best Buy. You could find so much there. Now, not only is my local Best Buy closed, so I have to drive out to like the one that's like 30 minutes away, but the one that's 30 minutes away, 1 or 2 shelves. That's it.
Yeah.
It's only new releases.
They've
Only releases.
they've done that here too.
Basically, Best Buy treated their movie stuff like it was freaking CDs. This got rid of all of it.
Their streaming has definitely cut into the home video market. I mean, but I'll tell you this though, RJ, looking at the numbers, and I've talked about this multiple times, DVD still outsells both Blu-ray and 4K combined.
Oh, I'm
4K,
sure. Because
4K is picking up, by the way.
Oh no, 4K
is,
Blu-rays are gaining momentum.
But they've also been dwindling out the amount of I don't want to say dwindling down on the Blu-rays, but it's like I feel like they're kind of pushing you more towards the 4K.
Look at the bookstores. I know. God forbid,
bookstores.
Your Barnes and Nobles, right? Your Barnes and Nobles and Books A Millions, right? Which Books A Millions still pretty popular over here, thankfully.
We just have Barnes and Noble
they mostly
over here.
sell? You know what they mostly sell now?
Manga.
It's all manga, man. Dude, even my local Walmart now, instead of selling regular comic books, they're selling manga now. All of it. Just rows and rows of it. Why? Because it sells like crack. Like, it sells amazing. And here's the funny thing. I went to Books A Million, right, the other day. Like the Marvel section, the graphic novel section? They just mush Marvel and DC together. It is one shelf top to bottom. One shelf. Most of the comic books, by the way, most of the American comic books, they're in the bargain bin section. And it's not me trying to be like funny. I'm being serious. They were in the bargain bin section saying, "Flash sale, please buy these. We're trying to get rid of this inventory."
Yeah.
But manga, dude, like 12 rows, front to back, all packed up. It's insane how much like the brick and mortar market's changed. You can't find comic books or like these old movies anymore, unless I go to like freaking what's that one store, Second and Charles, or like this other like
we have stuff here like Half Price Books is another one.
Like
I
the
know
Half Price Books place.
like their Goodwill is another one. I like to go to Goodwill because they've got like they'll have like $2 DVDs and like $4 Blu-rays or whatever. I actually found this is really funny. I was there last year and I found an original 2001 release of Fast and Furious.
Yeah, William, you're one of the exceptions, man. Your store is like the most I've seen comic books in any store lately, because my Barnes and Noble, they're practically all gone. My Books A Million, they're pretty much all gone. They're all mushed together. You can barely find anything. And with Blu-rays and movies, like I said, unless you're going to Walmart and Target for the new releases, you're barely finding anything at the stores. Like it's and I have no comic book store near me. There's no comic book store where I live. Not a single one.
I haven't been to a comic book store. I can't even tell you. I know there's a couple that are near me, but like, see, in Portland, we have Powell's Books, right? And there's a couple offshoot locations, couple satellite locations that are fun to visit. But the main Powell's Books is like world renowned famous. You know what I mean? It's like 7 floors. And you can find almost everything there.
Yeah. It's not even comic books. Like, here's the thing. I don't understand not selling the comic book issues, but they don't even sell the graphic novels anymore. Like, they're just all gone. Like, they don't even bother trying to sell them anymore.
Well, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny, though, that the most predominant entertainment medium out there can't move the fucking units that it's based off of?
Oh, trust me, dude. That baffles me so much. I don't understand. I think that
I can tell you why.
The movies need to do more to promote it. That's one thing.
Well, sure, the movies need to, but the thing is, though, and I'll tell you this is why Marvel doesn't move it, and William may agree or disagree, but I think I'm right. The continuity of the movies is not matched by the comics.
Well, yeah, it's confusing for new readers to get in.
It is. And we were talking about this last night.
Barrier to entry is the biggest issue. Listen, you may not like manga or anime, but if I want to read One Piece, where do I start?
Well, yeah, at the beginning.
I just read chapter 1, volume 1. Go from there.
Yeah.
That's
well,
it.
and I talked about that last night on stream. I don't know if you're listening to. Oh no, you probably weren't. But it's
I
like
was probably knocked out of sleep. Sorry.
I was talking about that last night, and I'm all like, no, I mean, I talk shit about manga, but it's like, no, they start it, and this is what it is.
I mean,
But
One
comic
Piece has
books,
been one ongoing story for like almost 20 plus years. One guy who writes this one story that's gone on for 20 years, biggest selling comic book in the world. Not even just manga, comic book. It's outsold Batman. It beat Batman in sales finally. I think just a couple months ago.
do you think that the One Piece show will do well on Netflix, or will it have the Cowboy Bebop curse?
They want it to be a big hit. They need it to be a big hit. Will it be? I don't know. It's the same production company, but it's different showrunners and writers.
Yeah, and that can make the world a difference, though.
I mean, listen,
that can.
the production quality of Cowboy Bebop wasn't the issue. The production looked great. Like the costume design, the effects, all that was great. It was the writing. So, I don't know. I think there's more love and care being put into One Piece, maybe, but it's such a goofy story. Like it's literally a comic book. Like it's the most comic book thing you can do. So much about that like only makes sense in the vein of a comic book. That I'm not sure how that would even translate. Like Cowboy Bebop's an easier translation to live action. It really, really is. So the fact they messed that up, I mean, I'm just like, you messed up something that like should be like, bread and butter to live action, right? I don't know. I
mean, the production design was fantastic.
It's just the writing.
The writing, and like again, some of the. It's like this is the problem with the translation of animation to live action, and why adaptations are always going to be difficult, because there's very little
Yeah. And listen, Tate, I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you live in an area where that's available. I wish I lived in an area like that, but where I live, man, it's like a ghost town. You can't find any of it. I mean, it's all going to depend on where you live, of course. I mean, my experience is not going to be the same as everyone else's, but William is saying that it's no longer cost effective for mass market box stores to carry comics. The margin is razor thin. The same thing with the graphic novels. That's because a lot of the owners are lazy and don't do the work. It's up to us to make that connection. 70% of the people who come through my door have never picked up a comic. It's my job to bridge that gap. And that is true. I remember William talking about this, where he said that his job is to like try and convince people, really, to like not convince them, but to help them connect between the shows and the movies and the comics.
Yeah,
the money is there to make. You'll just have to make the effort. Just don't make the effort anymore.
That's kind of what like
impossible.
I agree with him. I was, so funny he says that, because I was actually watching. I've been watching this guy all week who live streams State of Decay 2.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's doing it for he's branched off into other games, but like I was watching some of his older content. He did a 6.5 hour or a 6 hour stream where he was playing like the Walking Dead mod, where it was just a modded version of the game, but I watched him for 6 hours, like off and on, right? Mm-hmm. And because it was just like he's selling me on the game. For one, I'm already playing the game, but like he's helping me form a deeper connection with it by showing me mechanics I may not know about, or just kind of like talking. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. But the thing is, though, it's like when I talk about like when Chris Bipolar Nobody was on a couple weeks ago, and we're talking about Big Trouble in Little China, and he's all like, "Oh, I've never seen it," and all of a sudden it's like, "Hold on, pump the brakes." What?
Yeah.
And so
and then you pitch the movie to him.
You pitched the movie. So then he went and he watched it right away, and he came back and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I never saw this. This movie's amazing." And it's like, that to me is the best joy I can have with what I do is like, how can I, and William's right. How can I connect you with something?
No, and William's right. Like I remember when I went to his store, his store may have changed a little bit, but I think it's still there. He has like an as seen on TV section where it's like, okay, you want to read, you're into like Loki, here's some Loki comics, that is true. I think that William has a point where it's like, it's about the shop owners trying to like bridge that gap.
Yeah. But is that what we are? Is that what we are? Right? Like, I'm
just wondering like if there could be more to be done at like the actual publisher level. The publishers,
like the publishers could do more with it, but I also feel
because
like
look, like the Batman, for example, when the Batman was coming out, you know what they did? Every single trailer they released, every single video, you know what it ended with? Read the comics that inspired the movie. Pick up these 3 graphic novels at your local bookstores and comic book stores.
Oh yeah. Now the question is,
they're doing that with Black Adam right now, actually, and I commend them for doing that.
I'm the thing with Black Adam is like, because we've talked a lot about it, but like again, I plan on seeing the movie next month.
I know, and you're gonna love seeing Henry Cavill.
I hope Henry's in it.
Oh, he's 100. I've talked to people, Matt. I think he's an ass.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I really do, man. I'm like,
You've,
listen,
yeah, I know.
if
No,
I'm wrong,
you've
I'll be
paid
wrong.
to talk to people. We've talked about this. You've paid to talk to people.
It doesn't even matter, man. I've seen things. I know.
You see, okay.
I'm
You
like
can also show me
90%
these things that you've
sure.
seen, right? And I won't share them, but it's like, you know, I'm just saying, I don't know yet till I watch it. I'm not going to
I
get my
know.
hopes up
I
till I
don't know
see it.
either. I'm like, but I'm 90%.
And I don't even know. And here's the thing with that. I can't even tell you if that's going to even move the needle. Now,
listen, I think it'll move it a little bit. I don't think it would save the movie, but I
it
think
won't
we'll
save the
know.
movie. It won't save the movie
It needs to
because
be a good movie regardless. Like
it
needs
well,
to be a good
yeah,
movie.
yeah. And the trailer was not impressive on that sense to
The whole
practically
marketing
anybody,
campaign hasn't been good, to be honest.
which is really funny.
I don't know if that's because of the merger or what, but the marketing for this movie has not been great.
No, I mean, well, that's why the other day they're just like, oh, here we had a brand meeting where we watched the
And
movie.
The Rock was probably like, y'all need to step the fuck up. Like, do better, please.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with that though. When you're the highest paid movie star, I'm air quoting that by the way, in the world, your name value alone should indicate success, but it doesn't, and that's the problem. And it's not tracking, I don't think, because I haven't heard any long range tracking numbers coming out yet, and we're 6 weeks
Give
away
it a
from the
couple
movie.
weeks. Give it a couple weeks.
Dude, they will drop long range tracking like months in advance. Like you'll have a movie coming out in December, and by September you'll have long range tracking based upon initial interest.
I'll look it up. Hold on, because I'm playing Mario Kart right now as we talk. But hold on, I'll look. Because I could have sworn
Max,
there's already been long range tracking for it. I thought they said
I haven't
100
seen
million.
long range tracking on it, but then again, look, I've been busy, so if I missed it, I missed it.
Yeah, let me see.
All I'm saying on this though is like Black Adam has an uphill battle because are people going to go see it because it's The Rock, or are they going to go see it because it's Black Adam? The vast majority of people out there don't know who Black Adam is. Henry Cavill's Superman has not been seen on the big screen since 2017.
But there's a hunger for Superman, Matt.
There's not.
I would disagree. I think people want DC to be good again. And I think
people may want it, but they're also like
people are missing those
people will look wherever there's shiny keys, and if it's any good. You know what I mean? Like Justice League wasn't good. That's the reason why that they were talking about rebooting everything after Justice League came out.
So far, Box Office Pro only has their box office tracking up until the end of September. They have not posted October yet.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, they have not talked about Black Adam yet.
Well, when they drop those numbers, it will be interesting to see. But the thing is, though, for look, people in this community, we've been talking about Snyder and Batman and Wonder Woman and Cavill almost every day, literally for over 2 years now. So it's like
which is partially their fault because they haven't done anything with those characters.
True, very true. But again, it's like I figure the only way that Cavill will come back would be if they parked a dump truck full of money in front of his house, or they signed him to a contract. But the way I see it is, you're not going to sit there and sign him to an agreement and then bring in somebody new to oversee the entire thing who will have no control in that sense, right? Like that's the whole point. Is like if they're going to bring in a guy to run DC, then he's going to want to run DC. So I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, it all depends.
Hey, listen, I think Dan Lin, this is just my observation of him. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like he's definitely a company man who, if they told him, hey, we need you to work with Henry Cavill, he'd be like, okay, I'll figure out a way to work with Henry Cavill. I don't
probably. And I don't think Henry's the problem.
No, I'm just saying if that was an issue of like, oh, they're not going to want to sign a contract before this guy steps in. I think that honestly, the contract would have been signed before they took over potentially. Like, cause that would have been totally a $7 Productions thing. And I'm telling you this right now: if $7 Productions wasn't involved in Black Adam, I don't think you would be getting Henry.
Well, yeah, it's because of the connection of
The Rock
of Danny Garcia. Like that's the thing, you know. But again, it's like we don't know what's going on with it. Zaslav, they don't have the money for basically anything right now.
Like Black Adam makes $20 billion, and they'll get the movie, I guess. It'll make all the money. The Rock is gonna save DC and Warner Brothers simultaneously because he's just that powerful. He's just that powerful. It's like he'll bring the money. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, listen, they need Black Adam to be a success. That's the one thing for sure. They need to be a success.
Yeah.
Because now they're not doing DC fandom, and like now we're kind of sitting in the wind, being like, okay, when are we gonna hear about what's next?
Yeah, I know. Even when I went to go see Lord of the Rings the other night, my friend and I were in the theater and we were looking at the posters and we see the Black Adam poster and he's all like, "Nah," you know. I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Well,
The
it's
Rock.
not good.
He's like,
Listen, they need better marketing. Get a better poster.
well, they need. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is like again, but I do feel that the I don't want to say the failure of the DC League of Super Pets because I don't think it's a failure. I think it's done okay.
No, it did okay.
But the middling success
But
is a
to be fair,
fair.
though, animated movies don't like. Listen, Paws of Fury had a A-list voice cast. Nobody went to go see that either.
Michael Cera is not Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Samuel L.
Neither is
Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson as a supporting character is not
He's the
Dwayne the Rock
co-lead.
Johnson.
He plays the mentor.
He's not Kevin Hart, dude. Like he's not Kevin Hart. Like that.
Kevin Hart's had box office flops too. Let's be fair.
But Kevin Hart has had box office yes. But when's the last time Sam Jackson led a movie?
Shaft? When did Shaft come out?
A couple years ago. Was he the lead or was it the kid? I thought it was about whoever played the young.
Co-lead. They were in the whole movie together, like
Yeah,
shared all their scenes together. So
yeah, but it's like that was like again, Sam Jackson hasn't been like the last big movie that Sam Jackson I think led was like Snakes on a Plane. And that movie, according to New Line, bombed because like it had big internet push, but nobody went to go see it, which is their mistake because that movie's fucking glorious. I don't care what anyone says.
yeah, of course, Snakes on a Plane. Come on.
I know, right? But I think it's and I agree with William here. The standalone strategy really hurts DC films as well. He's right, and I think that was a problem with Hamada. Hamada was very much trying to build the singular stuff by having like, oh hey, the Joker's in a different universe, the Batman's in a different universe, but then Jim Lee was pushing the multiverse,
which was a mistake because they should have done something different to Marvel. Because they knew
I don't
Marvel
think
moving full ahead on multiverse, but they wanted to
keep in mind that Marvel mentioned the multiverse like after DC had started hinting at it. So DC started hinting at the multiverse back in 2020.
Were they? I don't think it was that early.
Yeah, go back to the first fandom. You got Jim Lee, Hamada, and Greg Berlanti, and they did a Multiverse 101 panel. Never mind, Crisis on Infinite Earths happened.
Remember, Marvel did get to the multiverse first because in July 2019 they announced Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. So they let you know that a multiverse was coming.
Yeah, they
knew.
They were doing it, but I think it was like I think people were talking a bit at the time about they announced it on the theatrical side of it, but the CW had already done it.
Okay, that is true. Yeah, CW did do it first years before. Yeah.
So it's like that whole thing was established with CW with those characters, and then it would just seem like and then like Flash when Flash was being talked about, Flashpoint the Flashpoint story was being talked about as being what we're going to get, and everyone knew that was a multiverse movie. So it's kind of like, okay, this is what they're going for. This is what and that's the whole point is like what I find to be funny is it's just people who want multiverse to happen instantaneously. They need to build the momentum to get there.
Well,
it took Marvel.
What universe has DC established so far that's worthy of crossing over with everything else?
Watchmen.
Nothing. There's nothing
that
they've really done that's like worthy. Like, is there really any emotion to seeing Ezra Miller meet Michael Keaton? Like, think about like No Way Home. I know I bring up No Way Home a lot, but that is the blueprint with these kind of things. There's an emotion to bringing the other Spider-Man in because it's like a legacy that they built up. Like he had a trilogy first before we even got a crossover, but it was also a celebration movie of like 20 years of Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, and it was contained enough, and they did it in a way that not only included the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
but it felt like it was like also wrapping up like two other film trilogies in a way. Like
it did.
Andrew got some closure or like some renewed purpose and rejuvenation. Toby got some closure in a way. All the villains got their closure in a way.
Oh no, it was great. It was absolutely great. What they did with that, and the fact that they actually pulled it off and it made a lot of fucking money, is just proof that if you do it right, you can do it well. But you still have to build to that point. You know, I think that's
they
the thing.
make
Is
the
patience.
first Spider-Man movie of Tom Holland's trilogy a multiverse movie. The game was 2 solo movies first, right? So it's like,
Yeah, well, and then but then again, he was also involved in Civil War and Endgame.
well, that
you know,
helped
and,
too, yeah, of course.
and so it helped that we saw him with multiple appearances from 2017 to 2021. You know, so we saw him basically every year with the exception of 2020.
Yeah, you
really.
got to see him through his entire high school life.
Yeah.
Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year.
Yeah, and then even a 5-year gap where he technically didn't exist anymore. So there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot there with all that where the way that they've established their storytelling. That's the thing with DC. DC does have very interesting stories.
And listen, I know William said this a lot, and I think he has a point. Maybe there's not as many people care about Keaton as people think. I mean, William here saying that I grew up with Keaton when I was a kid, but I don't care anymore. Yeah, there wasn't a 33-year gap with No Way Home like there is with Keaton.
Yeah.
Like, how strong is the nostalgia for Keaton really going to be? That's the biggest question.
I think people who are my age and William's age, people who were younger when the movie came out, there's going to be that innate curiosity to see if they can pull it off.
I think more people, like, honestly, if you wanted to capture more of, like, the recent generation, like the people like 20 to 30.
Bale would have been good.
Bringing Bale.
Yeah, Bale would have been good, yeah.
If you brought Keaton and Bale, like, you know, there you go.
I think the problem with that though with Bale is Bale doesn't want to do it. Like he's
if you bring in Bale, it's kind of like desecrating the Nolan trilogy too. Like you're gonna bring in the Nolan trilogy into this weird shit. Like it doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit. But then again, if the multiverse is any and all realities exist simultaneously. But I'll tell you this though.
It should fit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I was talking about this kind of thing the other day with like comparing House of the Dragon to the Lord of the Rings. And it's kind of what I'm talking about though is like in the House of the Dragon, because they're both prequel shows, right? To like their mainstay pop culture zeitgeist. And so I'm like, but they're both prequel shows. But the thing is though, is like House of the Dragon, it has the benefit of having recent nostalgia.
Yep.
And so it's like if you watch the first,
literally, it's coming right on the. Well, it's funny, right?
3 years later, but it's.
But you would think that Game of Thrones would have had more of the uphill battle because it's coming right off the heels of the controversial final season.
Well,
not really.
Well, they waited. Well, yeah, they waited 3 years. They gave it time to die down. They developed it. The pilot episode.
New creators involved.
New creators involved. Yeah, even though again, I don't think Dan and Dave. That's a whole thing. But the thing with me though, I'm watching the pilot episode of House of the Dragon. And you're hearing like it's okay, it's different. It's like they fly over King's Landing. I'm like it's good to be back, sort of thing. And then like you're listening,
different enough too.
It feels different, but it also feels similar. And then of course they drop the da da dun dun da da dun very subtly in the back of a scene, and you hear the theme, and immediately because that theme is iconic, it's amazing.
Well, also too in the intro that they've officially adopted, they use the music.
Yes, I haven't seen episode 2 yet. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. Just haven't had the time. But yeah, so basically it's like they established that. Never mind that there are characters in House of the Dragon that are named, that are the namesake of characters that we heard of or we had introduced or whatever in Game of Thrones. So you get some of that kind of connection there as well. They did enough to establish the nostalgia bait in a way that felt natural. The difference though with Lord of the Rings is this is a prequel show that's technically not connected to the movies, like legally speaking, but like they are still trying to find that middle ground to where fans will be able to that's fine. Well, fans will be able to dive in, right? So it's like I'm watching the show and like Howard Shore did the theme, Bear McCreary did the score.
Oh, Bear McCreary did the score?
Yeah, and he's really
great.
good. It's great, but it doesn't have the iconic feel to it. Like Lord of the Rings had an iconic feel.
I think the show has a bit of identity crisis too, in a way, because correct me if I'm wrong, it's not connected to the movies, right? It's meant to be like something else. Like it's like spiritually connected, but it's not officially. It's more off the books. So it's like it can't play off the movie nostalgia at all. And because it can't play off the movie nostalgia, it kind of hurts it a little bit too in that sense, because it's like you can't capitalize off of that whatsoever.
Well, it's like, for example, so today Amazon had a deal for the Hobbit trilogy for $45. So I bought it on 4K. And I have the Lord of the Rings trilogy in 4K that I bought earlier this year. And this deal it's a good deal to get both for like under $100 overall. It's like a really good deal. And then because I'm like, because I like the Hobbit movies, even though I had a lot of people on Twitter telling me today that the Hobbit movies are trash, and I'm like, they're not trash.
No, they're not trash.
I
think it should have been 2 movies instead of 3.
Sure, I agree with you. However, here's what I say to that is like, there was the New Zealand actor strike that caused a lot of the delay in production, to the point of where Guillermo del Toro had to step away because he was contractually obligated through Universal to go do Crimson Peak. So he ended up
wasn't worth it. Sorry.
No, it wasn't.
I don't hate Crimson Peak, but I would have rather done that.
No, exactly. But he was still contractually obligated, and Peter Jackson took over. But if you watch the An Unexpected Journey, it is very much Guillermo's. His DNA is all over that. Like it's.
Oh yeah, it feels like a Guillermo movie.
It really does.
Peter
It
Jackson
does.
movie.
But then you go and you watch Desolation of Smog, and Desolation of Smog feels like a Peter Jackson movie, but it's also a bit on the darker side. And
it's definitely the darkest of the films. Like
it is.
Trilogy.
And then like you get to the end where Benedict Cumberbatch is playing Smog, and him and Bilbo are doing their whole back and forth, and then like it's such a compelling conversation. It's such a compelling scene, and then the way that it ends, and like Smaug escapes and starts heading towards Lake Town. And you're just like, holy shit, dude. Like, that was fucking brilliant. Battle of 5 Armies is the weakest one.
Yeah, want to know something funny about that cliffhanger for Smog? They made a Lego The Hobbit game, right?
Yeah.
They only adapted the first 2 movies. They were going to do the 3rd game as DLC, but they canceled it because of rights issues with the Tolkien estate and Warner Brothers. So the game officially ended on the cliffhanger. You never got the ending.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
And it was the exact same ending as the movie, where it ends like super dark with the dragon coming to invade.
Yeah.
So imagine like never getting the 3rd movie. And that's what Lego gamers got to experience.
That's crazy, man. I didn't even know that. That's nuts. And that goes to tell you like why this is the kind of shit that should be hammered out ahead of time when it comes to rights. But yeah, I mean, when you look at like, these movies and you go, okay, like they're like the way I look at it's like this. Like the Lord of the Rings, the books are like telling you this like harrowing journey of the Fellowship trying to take this ring to Mount Doom. And then when you look at like Frodo, or when you look at people finding the Hobbit is Bilbo's retelling of that, but it's also embellished. It's also a fairy tale. It's like it's him retelling it, but he's telling it in a grandiose way because that's kind of how Bilbo is. And so that's how I look at those movies. I still feel like the Battle of 5 Armies is not my favorite, but it's been a number of years since I've seen it. So
I have not revisited those Hobbit movies since they came out. I remember liking them. I liked the whole trilogy, not as much as Lord of the Rings, obviously, but like I never understood why people acted like they were like just as bad as like the Star Wars prequels. I'm like,
no,
what are you talking about?
For one, but time heals all wounds. So I love the prequels now. Like, and I've always liked the prequels. But
Attack of the Clones, I still think is a bad movie. But other than that,
it's really not. If you look at it from like its criticism of the George Bush era. That's more Revenge of the Sith. But
no, Attack of the Clones, man, the romance and like all that, it's just so bad. It's bad.
I tend to have a softer approach to it on that front. You know what I mean? But like,
can't write romance. I'm sorry.
Well, Carrie Fisher came in to update the dialogue.
She came in
to do. I know.
But...
I know. Like Carrie Fisher is like this. Everyone's like this amazing writer, and she can't even fix Lucas dialogue. But it's not just the dialogue; it was also the performances.
Well, it was the directing too. We all know this. I mean,
yeah, I think Lucas like should have probably handed it over to somebody else.
Of the movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, it's like the one Star Wars movie I just think is like not good. Like, I can't watch Attack of the Clones is like a very tough rewatch. It's a tough rewatch.
See, for me, that's the Phantom Menace. It's a tough rewatch.
No, because at least with Phantom Menace, we get that amazing third act.
Third
act is amazing.
The third act of Attack of the Clones is amazing. The battle for
Not as good,
Geonosis
though. Not
alone.
as good. Not
The
as good.
battle for Geonosis.
Duel of
The
the Fates,
Yoda
man.
with lightsabers.
Duel of the Fates. Yoda with lightsabers was stupid.
I don't even know.
Yoda
I
should
want
never
to,
have a
dude. I want to
lightsaber.
use a gamer word so hard right now. Like,
I'm sorry,
what?
Yoda should never use lightsabers. He's the strongest force wielder. He should be beyond such trivial weapons. He's so powerful in the force. He doesn't need a lightsaber, man. Why
I
would
need
he
to call
lightsaber?
I need to call Saggy to have her come in and bully you in ways that I can't.
I'm being serious. Why would he
that
need
is a very.
lightsabers? He's the strongest force user in the Star Wars universe. He doesn't need lightsabers. It should have been a pure force battle, man. It was a
What's he gonna do? Fade off and die afterward? I mean, like, no.
Nah, man. No, that was Last Jedi. Come on now. I'm just saying, man. Yoda is a boss. He's such a boss. He didn't need the lightsaber.
Are you saying though that the Yoda Emperor fight scene in Sith was also not cool?
It was cool, but it was because of a bad mistake.
Because if Yoda is so powerful, he doesn't need to use it. Then why does the Emperor? Because the Emperor is like the Sith. He is the dark side.
He didn't need it either, but that's what they went with. At least in Attack of the Clone, at least in Revenge of the Sith, it was better choreographed. Attack of the Clones, man. Christopher Lee
one if RJ should be canceled for this comment about Attack of the Clones.
Dude, Christopher Lee was fighting with like a dummy stick guy, and it was like so badly choreographed. At least in Revenge of the Sith, it was fun to watch.
Don't care. Yoda with a lightsaber.
It was better in Revenge of the Sith. It was crappy.
It was better in Revenge of the Sith, but man, I don't think you realize what that meant to fans in 2002.
Oh no, the fans hated it. The smart ones hated it. The smart ones hated it. The smart
what
ones
are you talking about?
I was at him. Hated it.
What are you talking about, dude?
Dude, I've heard the stories from my parents who went to go see it in the theater.
Oh my god!
Everyone laughed at it and said it was horrible.
That theater, maybe my theater, everyone applauded. All my friends, when I was at Comic-Con a couple months later, and they had the DVD release panel for that one, and they showed off the trailer that kind of made fun of Spider-Man and put it into Yoda.
I saw that. Listen,
I know
people liked it.
I think you are generalizing. This is wow.
It was dumb. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yoda
maybe it's one of those you had to have been there and not been in diapers. Maybe, I guess, I don't know.
Hey, listen, Revenge of the Sith was my first Star Wars movie in the theater, and that was a great experience.
So
seeing people get burned alive and murdered, it was great.
I love that no one in the chat agrees with you. Not one person. Everyone cancel RJ. I see hundreds of people saying cancel RJ.
No one's given me a good argument as to why Yoda needs to fight with a lightsaber when he's the most powerful Force user in the galaxy.
Because that is how they fight. Do you not understand
wouldn't it be a better show of strength if he didn't have to use a lightsaber because this is how powerful he is in the Force?
No, because these guys are Jedi Knights. Dude, the concept there of the whole thing, when David Prowse and Alec Guinness were choreographing their battle, the way that Lucas had described it, and granted he kind of went back on this himself for spectacles reasons, but the way he described it was like, imagine you're wielding something powerful. Imagine this is a powerful weapon that is being used, have the gravitas with it. And he definitely made it more of a spectacle with these movies, but that's fine because the concept of it was still there. Even The Mandalorian touched upon that concept when Din was holding the Darksaber and she was saying you're working against it, because that is the importance of a lightsaber is to be trained in using it and to know when to. Oh my god! I just I can't.
Listen, I liked it. I like the lightsaber scene in Revenge of the Sith, but the Attack of the Clone one. Listen, if they would have waited until Revenge of the Sith, where he was fighting the most powerful Sith, Chancellor Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, then I would be fine with it. But come on, man, Count Dooku. That's the moment he decides, oh, I gotta take out the lightsaber. Come on,
Yes.
man. It would have been a better build up in 2005. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like, okay, so Pete Dencat says here,
I
Let-
know
let-
what he says, but come
I
on.
see our abilities
That's
with the
bad
Force are
writing. That was
evenly
bad
matched.
writing. That was bad writing. That was a bad choice.
I mean, well, no, because the thing is, though, is that the Force, the way that Luke
And I'm
Skywalker
sorry, but Dooku's
has,
not as strong as Yoda. So
but
that's
that, well,
bullshit.
here's the thing with that, though, is the way the Force operates. The Force does not have, ultimately, like having, let's say, our abilities. Our abilities doesn't mean innate power. Our abilities mean skills with them. The Force runs through like the way that Mark Hamill, I think, described it, or maybe it was Luke and something described it, was think of it like a doorway. The Force is a doorway. The door opens differently for different people. Sometimes, and that's why some people have greater abilities at first because the door is further open, but then other people don't, but they can still open the door. So them being the most powerful Force user is kind of an oxymoron. It doesn't make a lot of sense because everyone has access to ultimately the same amount of Force.
There's a reason Grogu refused to take up Yoda's lightsaber because even he knows you don't need that shit.
No, because he missed his daddy. That's the whole freaking point.
No, it's because he knew that he doesn't need a lightsaber because he's going to grow up to be just as powerful and better. You don't need that shit.
That is in no way. That's your own headcanon.
Nah,
Write a
I'm
Tumblr
telling
blog.
you, that was Jon Favreau telling the prequel fans to eat a dick because he told y'all Yoda don't need no lightsaber. If I ask Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni this tomorrow, I swear to God, they're both going to say Yoda doesn't need a lightsaber. I guarantee it. At least Jon Favreau would. Guarantee it.
I think Filoni.
Filoni
would.
listen. Filoni made me like rethink the entire end of episode 1. So if he can listen, I will listen. If I ever get a chance to ask Dave Filoni what he thinks about that, I will ask him. I don't think he would come up with a good justification for it.
You're just getting ratioed in the chat, dude. Like you're just getting ratioed.
That's fine. Listen, they hated Jesus for telling the truth too.
Can't even. What the fuck?
It's true. They hated Jesus and crucified him for telling the truth, man. So you know what? That's fine.
They crucified him because they had the opportunity to let go of a thief, to choose a
You
thief
don't
or
understand.
Jesus,
No,
and they
you don't get
chose.
the meme, Matt. It's okay. You don't get the meme. The meme is literally they hated Jesus for telling the truth. That's the meme. Look it up.
That is, God,
That's fine. You hate me for telling you all the truth. That's fine.
Oh, like how Henry Cavill is aged out of playing Superman.
That's not that was come on. That was hyperbolic on. You did on Superman Days to piss off people. Let's be fair here.
I did it on Superman Day, which is that's a fake ass holiday, dude.
Doesn't matter. It was still a holiday.
It's a fake holiday. It's a fake. It's not even
It doesn't
a real.
matter. It was still a holiday.
How is a corporate made day a holiday? I didn't get the day off of
How
work.
is Disney Plus Day a holiday? I don't know.
It's not a holiday. It's a day.
Well, they made it a holiday. It's like every year.
RJ, you are drunk on pumpkin spice latte, sir. Like I know you are acting like a suburban white woman at this point. Like it is fall. It's the first day of Halloween season, and you're just like, give me all that nutmeg.
I don't drink that shit. I mean, it's probably all the medication I'm on, to be fair. So.
Here we go, guys. He's now backpedaling to the I don't. It's not my fault. I'm dumb. I'm just on medication.
I mean, it's not a lie. I am on medication. It's not a lie. I don't lie.
No, listen. Here's the thing. Here's the thing: is you can. It's like being a lawyer, right? Or no, there's a great line said by Jeremy Piven in the movie PCU. And have you ever heard of PCU?
I think so. Yes.
I think you would like it. It's a 1993 comedy starring Jeremy Piven and David Spade and Jon Favreau and Jake Busey and like a bunch of people, right? The thing is, though, it's all about going to college. And he's like, you can major in Game Boy if you know how to bullshit. And that line has stuck with me now for like, goddamn near 30 years. Because it's a very true statement. You can major in Game Boy if you know how to bullshit. Mm-hmm. And so, again, it's like have whatever argument you want to make, but have at least enough of an argument or enough of an idea to make it. So, you know what? Listen, you want to argue the Yoda being dumb using lightsabers. I think that's a dumb argument, but I give you credit for at least having some point you wanted to make with it.
Oh, well.
So there you go.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
That's how that works.
So you see this, by the way, this Emmett Kennedy person, the horse racer.
Dude, I know. Like I saw that. So I saw that tweet that the Marvel updates, and this is the problem with Twitter.
Marvel
man, is
updates, by the way, that's a fake account. Don't trust anything they say.
I don't trust anything anyone says. To be fair, like My Time to Shine, fucking, I don't know if she's
My
gonna
Time
try
to
to sell
Shine
me.
is good though.
Is she? Because like I feel like the NFT thing is kind of like soured me on it. So
To be fair, she hasn't been pushing that as much lately. I don't know if you noticed, but she kind of stopped being as pushy with that.
yeah, because everyone backed off of NFTs. They all of a sudden died one day. Do you notice that? They just like, I mean,
It's
they're
good.
still
It's
around.
good.
They're still around, but like no one's like trying to offer you like in-game content in NFTs as much anymore. As NFTs are so stupid. Wasn't it like last year, like Sony for Spider-Man, like get your exclusive Spider-Man No
Dude,
Way
Warner
Home
Brothers did that with
NFT.
the Batman. With
Yeah,
the
yeah.
theaters.
Like I can just take a screenshot with my phone and that's an NFT. What? Yeah, it's you have Kathy Griffin on TikTok trying to explain what it is to people. It's dead.
Yeah. No, I agree. But point being, though, is that this person, Emmett Kennedy, who is a broadcaster and talks about horse racing, they put out this list saying, I'm reliably informed that Marvel Studios has signed epic talent for Phase 5. John Boyega, Henry Cavill, Jodie Comer, Daisy Edgar Jones, John Krasinski, Giancarlo Esposito, Denzel Washington, all to be announced with some appearing on stage by Feige at D23.
Yeah. I saw that.
So
I mean,
have to ask,
what do I think of it?
yeah, what do you think, and who are they playing if this is true?
Well, obviously Jodie Comer would be Sue Storm.
That's what I thought too. But Skylar Schuler from Diz Insider saying it's going to be Daisy Edgar Jones, or at least is hinting at it. So I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly I saw it today and I was like, huh, okay. Like I think I retweeted it. I think I said big if true or whatever. And then I gave it like no. And then I looked into it more about like who that guy was because I Googled him and I'm like, oh, he's a sports betting guy or a horse. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Just a weird person to leak this, if this is true.
Yeah, but like think about it like this.
No sense.
Ben Everett's guy put out a statement.
God, yeah.
Right?
On
Like
his
he
stream, I know.
put out a
Yeah, that turned
statement
out to be a
saying
giant
that like
troll.
yeah, like Zack Snyder had met with Warner Brothers, with Warner Brothers Discovery before they were Warner Brothers Discovery, apparently in January of this year, and laid out his plans using storyboards that weren't jail.
And then just a couple hours ago on the vodka stream, it's like, oh, I was just trolling. It was a social experiment. Everyone got suckered into it. I'm like, God damn it, Ben, why?
But didn't I say that though in the group DM?
I know you thought it was a troll. I know.
I said it. I'm like,
I thought I was like, Ben doesn't.
Dude, the guy put out
Why
a
would he do
TikTok
it?
the other day. Like he put out a TikTok the other day as like kind of calling that out too. Like he put out a video the other day talking about how like Henry Cavill could be in Black Adam, but then talked about like how it could be misinformation.
He likes
at the
it.
same
He likes
time.
to troll the scoopers. He likes to troll.
Oh,
the scoopers,
so
big time.
do I. But it's like, yeah, he actually the guy doesn't like me, but actually I think he's pretty cool. It's pretty funny, but no, but I saw that thing floating around. I saw the Ayer cut retweeting it. That little clip. I was getting
dude,
DMs.
It was everywhere. I got everywhere.
I was getting so many DMs from people about it today. They're like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. It's like it doesn't make any sense legally speaking.
Yeah, and then it turns out, the guy trolled to fool everybody and get people to play his game.
Yeah, but then. I
mean, I gotta respect it though, because he convinced a lot of people he was legit. So I gotta respect it a little bit.
Because
it was a very elaborate troll.
It's not even and it wasn't even necessarily the most elaborate thing I've seen. It was just they put out a graphic, it went around. But the thing is, though, what he did is he leveraged his credibility within the Snyder fandom in order to be able to get this right, to get people to believe it, and then it was picked up on.
Was trying to prove a point, I guess.
Yeah, that people just run with shit, and especially the Snyder fandom. Like I could tweet out, like I heard from a source.
No, you couldn't, Matt. No, not you. No offense.
So
They wouldn't believe you for shit.
they wouldn't believe me. But if it was a real scoop or something like that, if it
If it
really
was
turned out,
Enosh, maybe. If it was Enosh
Yeah.
doing something, maybe.
yeah, I don't.
If it was like
but
Dave the Film Junkie, Enosh, Nicotina, one of those guys, maybe they would believe it, but no, not you. Not at this rate, no offense.
what's funny though is like even Nicotina was DMing me today about that. So it's like, because he was like, because there was a video that went out. I guess they talked about on Midnight's Edge or whatever.
Yeah,
about
they talked to Syl and Mikey a lot in that video.
so it's
Yeah, they said like the Scooper, Syl Abdul, and Mikey Sudden of Geekosity. They said, listen, they're saying this happens, and if it doesn't happen, then I don't know. They kind of said their reputation in the line with this Black Adam thing. So,
well, yeah. I mean, I don't. Again, who knows? I don't know yet. I'll see the movie next month and find out like everybody else.
I think they got that one right, though. It's just me. I think they got that one right, but that's part of that is blind optimism. I know, but
Look, would it be cool if like everything was like, because I've seen the people. I saw, what was it? I saw a thing today on the Witcher fan page on Facebook, and they're like, Henry Cavill confirmed for Loki season 2, source Deadline, without a freaking hyperlink, and I'm like, no one questions it because they say Deadline, and so like, oh, okay, and I'm like, that ain't real. Like that's a rumor. It's like, but this is the problem though, is people like, they just want clicks and they just want views. And so it's
Kane brings up a good point. This guy's hashtags don't make sense. I mean, Fantastic Four, X-Men, okay. Why is She-Hulk here? Just because
She-Hulk is trending.
So you just put the hashtag there?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is he trying to say one of these people is going to be in She-Hulk? That's the thing where it gets kind of weird. But here's my thing, okay? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. 4 of these names make sense to me. 3 of them don't. Can you guess which ones I'm thinking?
Hold on. I guess I got to bail like in 5 minutes because I got to go get my kids up and get out the door to get to the airport.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll probably on the stream in a second too.
Let's see. The names that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
John Boyega.
Yeah, that was one. Doesn't make any sense to me.
And then the other one would probably be Cavill.
For me, the 3 names that don't make sense are Boyega, Cavill, and Denzel. Now, Boyega and Denzel, all 3 of those, I'd love for them to happen. I just don't see Boyega or Denzel joining the MCU. I really don't.
I could see Boyega,
but
Boyega not doing it.
Like not in a good place with Disney right now, So I don't know.
No, that's not true. Actually, that's not true at all. He actually put out a statement a little while back in an interview about how Lucasfilm responded to Moses Ingram and that whole situation.
I know, saying, I think he said I'm not interested in Marvel right now. Is what he said.
Yeah, but but again, it's like you might play hard to get, right? Actors say things, we don't always know if they're true or not. Yeah. We have to
Denzel. I mean, listen, Phantom Menace mentioned this earlier. He doesn't do sequels or franchises too often. Yeah,
but if he does a one-off, it would be.
That's what I was thinking. The thing, but who could he play that'd be a one-off that'd be big enough or worthy enough of Denzel?
They got Christian Bale for Gore the God Butcher, and they cut out like 90% of his scenes.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just like it's just, who knows if the money is there and they want to work with them, or if he wants to work with them. I don't know. I know he's getting ready.
Cavill thing.
The Cavill thing is like, look, it makes the most amount of sense for Henry Cavill to like make his way over to Marvel. Again, even Dwayne The Rock Johnson has had meetings with Kevin Feige, and it's an inevitability.
Just because he's going to be in Marvel wouldn't mean that he couldn't be in both. That's the other big thing. He could do both if it's like a one-off or only a couple movies, Especially with Hyperion. Hyperion, the rumor is that if he's playing Hyperion would be a cameo in Loki season 2. Then you wouldn't see him again until Kang Dynasties and Secret Wars. So, I mean, he'd only be in like 3 things, and then he'd be done. So,
yeah, but that's if he wants to dive back in for something like that.
And that also is if he's playing Hyperion, which we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know anything yet. I mean, like, I heard someone the other day still think that Seth Rogen is going to be playing Ben Grimm.
God, I hope not. That's true. I'm going to be pissed.
I mean, like,
here's the thing,
I don't...
Because Ben Grimm, they're going to cast a Jewish actor. Because Ben Grimm, just in case you don't know, he's based off of Jack the King Kirby, the king of comics. Jack Kirby basically said, this is basically me if I was a comic book character. Ben Grimm is one of the most famous Jewish characters in all comics next to Magneto. Like him being Jewish is a big part of the character. So they should cast a Jewish actor. But there's so many more better choices than Seth Rogen. Please don't cast Seth Rogen. That would be so cringe. I'm not gonna see Ben Grimm voicing. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna see Seth Rogen voicing Ben Grimm. I'm just gonna see Seth Rogen playing Seth Rogen. You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be like that scene from Chip and Dale.
Yeah, where he's like voices. It's like, God, no, please don't.
Yeah,
Don't.
and then all of the
Dude, I'm telling you, best choice, no joke. There's two good choices. I think Jason Segel could do a good job, and I think Liev Schreiber. I think Liev Schreiber would be an amazing thing if they cast him.
he might be a little bit too old for that, to be honest with you.
But dude, it's voice work and maybe motion capture. It's not the same work that you would any other character.
Well, I mean, look at like Alan Tudyk for K2SO, right? He is, he was still there doing the mocap work. Some actors like to get method.
No, I know, but I'm saying like if they wanted to cast an older actor, they could technically only have to do the voice. If they only wanted to do the voice, look at Bradley Cooper. He's not on set when they're doing motion capture for Rocket. He only does the voice.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, with Sean Gunn is probably harder for work.
I'm just saying, don't do Seth Rogen, please.
Anything can happen, RJ. Anything can happen. But I do got to go because I guess I got to be there a little bit sooner than I thought, and I gotta drive. So I'll check you guys out later. I'm gonna go brave the road while sleepy. Let me go wake up some kids.
Yeah, good luck with that. Make sure you take a lot. Get some coffee.
Yeah, I got a Rockstar. I'll drink it. My girlfriend's like, I'll get you Starbucks. I'm like, I don't want Starbucks.
Hey, pumpkin spice is back though. You sure?
Dude, I am not a white woman. I might got bitch tits, but I don't like pumpkin spice latte.
I've never had it, so I can't tell you if I like it or not.
Have you ever had nutmeg?
Not in a long time.
That's what it is, basically. Pumpkins, PSLs are just like, it's like nutmeg on like crack. It's a weird, it's all like, do you like pumpkin? Yeah, pie, bitch. Like, I don't fucking need, like, it's in a drink. It's like, you can get pumpkin spice spam. All right. That is how far we have fallen as a culture.
You're lying. There's no way.
No, I'm not lying. You can get pumpkin spice spam during this time of year. It's a seasonal. Because we can't have nice things, RJ.
That sounds nasty, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. It's just no. Who's gonna get like salted meat, but like with nutmeg on it? It's just you can get pumpkin spice like Oreos or crap like that.
Yeah, I like Caden's cast for Fantastic Four. Though, real quick, Penn Badgley, who it's either going to be Penn Badgley, Jamie Jordan, or John Krasinski. It's one of those three for Reed. Jodie Comer, I think, would be a fantastic Sue Storm. I really hope she gets it. I like Daveed Diggs. Daveed Diggs is the thing that could be interesting. I could do with that. I could do with that.
I do like Daveed Diggs quite a bit. So
yeah, they got to cast a Jewish actor though. They got to. They need to.
Yeah. So let's see here. Fandom NSL says, aside from Superbad, you'd never like Seth Rogen.
I like Seth Rogen where Seth Rogen makes sense. Just not. That's the thing. No.
But as a cop in Superbad.
Yeah, like that's fine. Or him popping up in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, like that's fine. Just don't be in my Marvel. Go do other stuff. It's fine. Go make more Boys and Invincible. I like that shit.
Yeah, he's a really good producer on that kind of content. So, but all right, man, I'll check you later. Just gonna go do that. All right, everybody, peace out.
See you, Matt Trouble, everybody. All right, so that is that. I'm gonna start winding down the stream now. Oh yeah, he is gonna voice Donkey Kong. I forgot about that. God, that was such a great reaction stream. I gotta get Meta. If you ever want to come back to YouTube, man, we need you back for some of those live reaction kind of shows. That was great. That was great when you were on the last time. Yeah, so I'm saying him as like a side, like that's like side character as a producer. I just don't want to miss the thing. I really don't. I have a feeling it's gonna be Seth Rogen though. Kind of like mentally preparing myself for that. And listen, I want to say this. Seth Rogen, if you're watching this, I don't hate you as a person. I think you're a great entertainer. I just don't think when it comes to voice work, you have a lot of range. I just can't picture you becoming Ben Grimm. one of the best characters in Marvel Comics. But please prove me wrong. If you prove me wrong, I'll eat a sock. Okay, I'll eat my ball cap. Okay, but I just can't picture you as the Thing, man. I can't picture Seth Rogen as the Thing. Who knows though? Who knows though? We're gonna find out in about a week. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the stream. It's like 5:30 in the morning. I've got to get to bed now. I only want to stream for a little bit just to kind of burn off some energy. Again, if you missed it way earlier, I'll be back again streaming on Monday. We'll be going over our D23 predictions and like the slate of streams I'm doing this week. So again, or next week, whatever week it is, I don't remember. Thank you all so much for watching. Love you all very, very, very much. And of course, peace the heck out.